let's talk about some of the themes of Gilman's short story, The Yellow Wallpaper. The theme of conformity versus self-expression can be seen in the relationship between the narrator and her husband. John has decided that she must remain inactive and in her room. And because he is both her husband and a respected physician, she has no choice but to obey. As a wife and a woman, she must conform to society's norms. The narrator accepts her role with little outward dissent, but her need for freedom of expression reveals itself in her private journal. She writes secretly and stays awake at night to have time to herself. However, the overall trajectory of the story shows that her need for healthy self-expression goes unmet. Instead of engaging meaningfully with those around her, the narrator comes to see a confined woman behind the bars of the yellow wallpaper and creeping women outside her windows. Gilman, in this way, shows us how unhealthy forced conformity can be. Confinement is a constant theme in the Yellow Wallpaper, seen in the setting, in the form of the secret journal, and in the narrator's overall descent into madness. The narrator is physically trapped by her surroundings and her husband's directives. The borders and walls of the estate isolate her. Beyond these physical barriers are those set up by society to limit women. Her journal sets the confines of her mental activity and proves inadequate to the task. Confined also by her fixation with the yellow wallpaper, the narrator traces the pattern for hours at a time. In this way, the pattern traps her mind, even as her physical self is confined. Women's roles were certainly limited at the time Gilman wrote The Yellow Wallpaper, with mother and house manager, the normalized domestic sphere for upper-class wives. But the narrator in Gilman's story is much more limited. At the mercy of male physicians who prescribe total inactivity of mind and body, she's already removed from her roles of mother and house manager when the story begins. Her woman's identity is thus split off into other characters. Mary takes on the narrator's role of mother, and Jenny manages the house, including taking care of the narrator. The narrator thus loses all agency over her life, and she's treated like a child who must be cared for. Charlotte Perkins Gilman was herself of the strong opinion that women need meaningful work suited to their natural abilities and inclinations. Her story intensifies the limitations put on women to show the mental decline that results. Mental illness is shown in this story to result from the narrator's forced conformity, her confinement, and her limited responsibilities, making the question of insanity a kind of umbrella theme that encapsulates the others. What kind of mental health can we expect from such cultural traditions?